The Backyard Sports series has some of the most nostalgic video games of the late 90s and early 2000s. Probably the most iconic though is Backyard Baseball, which was the first of the series and came out in 1997. And although I wasn't around in 1997, I can vividly remember picking my team and hitting bombs with Pablo Sanchez. So when I saw this was getting released on PS5, I knew I had to play it and get the platinum. Step 1 of this journey was picking my team from off the bench, and if you know anything about this game, you know that Pablo Sanchez is the absolute GOAT, and let me tell you, he did not disappoint. After picking some of the most memorable characters around him to fill out our squad, our first task was to play through the season mode with the ultimate hope of winning the Ultra Grand Champion of the Universe trophy. We started our first game in the BBL, which obviously stands for Backyard Baseball League, and in our first inning we drew a walk with Kenny Kawaguchi for the adequately named Walker trophy.
But you ain't got no legs.
But fortunately, on the next pitch, we would ground out into a double play to remind him that he does have legs, they just don't work. Luckily though, we had Pablo Sanchez, and he hit us a home run which would tie up the game and earn us the Slap Danger trophy. Then, in the top of the 6th and final inning, he knocked in an RBI single to take the lead, which would turn out to be the winning run and earned us the Season to Taste trophy for winning our first game. This was the story for just about the whole season, as typically, anytime we needed a big play, Pablo would come in and save us to get the win. This included a double, which earned us the Double Trouble trophy and led to a comeback in the last inning, a grand slam to earn us the Grand Slammer trophy, and even a walk-off home run in a scoreless game. Pablo's offense was backed up by plenty of strikeouts from Tony Del Vecchio, who would earn us the trophies Strike Chief, Strike Monarch, and Strike Emperor for reaching 10 strikeouts. It was around this point that I decided to go for some of the miscellaneous trophies in the game, and up first was an easy one called Splash Zone. Splash Zone is for hitting a home run into the pool on Steel Stadium, and after Keisha missed it just a little left, Pablo hit it straight into the pool for the trophy. Up next was another fun one called Dumpster Dive, which is for hitting the ball into the dumpster on Cement Gardens. I had plenty of close calls, but eventually it was Keisha Phillips who was able to get it into the dumpster. The next trophy had us stay in Cement Gardens and is called Out of This World, which I actually had a bit of trouble with. The trophy is for hitting a home run over 600 feet, and the best way to do this is to hit it down the line in left field and hope that the ball bounces enough times to reach 600 feet. I got plenty of home runs into the left field gap, and even another home run into the dumpster. Fortunately though, it was Jocinda Smith who hit one far enough, and after letting her round the bases, the trophy popped. Up next was what seems to be the hardest trophy on the list, which is called Tin Can Takedown for hitting a home run on Tin Can Alley without using a power-up. The difficulty with Tin Can Alley is that the outfield walls are made up of buildings, which naturally makes it really difficult to hit the ball over them. I was, however, able to hit a triple with Ernie Steele for the Triple Ripple trophy. The home run, however, took me a few hours of hitting the ball off the tee, but eventually, Mikey Thomas stepped up and launched an absolute rocket to the sky to earn the trophy. I then checked to see my home run progress, as I would need to hit 250 for the Home Run Overlord trophy. Now, I'll be honest, I really did not want to have to play through hundreds of games just to farm home runs and the 50 grand slams that I would need. So after I had already proven to myself that I can get grand slams, I made a save with Pablo Sanchez having the aluminum bat power up with the bases loaded and used it to get the 10, 20, and 50 grand slams I needed for the Grand Slam Bites, Grand Slam Cakes, and Grand Slamwich trophies. I also used it to get the 10 and 50 home runs for the Home Run Prince and Home Run King trophies, but in order to speed up the home run process, I decided to use the tee and hit over 100 home runs in one inning on easy mode before switching back to Pablo in order to hit my 250th home run and get the Home Run Overlord trophy. Now, all that was left to do was to finish season mode. With all of the extra practice I'd gotten, we were able to have an undefeated 14-0 season, which was good enough to earn us a spot in the All-City playoffs and the All-City All-Kitty trophy. The Fishes once again proved to be no challenge, however, and we quickly advanced to the Super Entire Nation tournament. This was a big change for us, as we were now playing at Big City Stadium with fans in attendance. Fortunately though, Pablo remained undaunted and hit a home run on the first pitch to lead us off, and we swept the Stinky Pansies to win the Tournament Maestro Trophy and finally advance to the Ultra Grand Championship of the Universe Series. I started off feeling a touch worried after Pablo wasn't able to make this diving catch, which led to us going down 1-0, but he then hit a home run to tie up the game and totally redeem himself. We found our rhythm by the end of Game 1 and won 7-3. Game 2 was much closer, with Ahmed Khan proving himself as a hero with a walk-off homer to give us a 2-0 lead in the series and just one win away from becoming ultimate grand champions of the universe. Game 3 was close all the way through, but after a ground rule double, Jocinda Smith was able to drive in Amir Khan for a 1-0 lead, which would end up holding as we got the last out on a steal attempt and had officially become Ultra Grand Champions of the Universe. This earned us the Master of the Universe trophy, as well as the Platinum. In the end, I was the 13th person to reach this Platinum, and it took me 1 day and 14 hours, which so far is the second fastest time. Looking back on this Platinum, backyard baseball was just as fun as I remembered it being, with many fun game mechanics that have aged really well. Perhaps the most important takeaway from this experience for me, though, is that Pablo Sanchez is still the GOAT.